Welcome back everybody. Today's topic is psychodynamic perspective. Introduction. The psychodynamic theory is a psychological theory Sigmund Freud and his later followers applied to explain the origins of human behavior. The interaction of drives and forces within the person, particularly unconscious and between the different structures of personality. Sigmund Freud's psychoanalysis was the original psychodynamic theory, but the psychodynamic approach as a whole includes all the theories that were based on his ideas. For example, Carl Jung, Alfred Adler, Erik Erikson, Anna Freud, etc. Basic assumptions. Psychodynamic perspective has some basic assumptions about behavior. In order to understand this theory, it is important to know these assumptions and the background of development of this theory which emerged during the Victorian era. The assumptions are as follows. Behaviors are unconsciously motivated. Behaviors are rooted in childhood experiences. All behaviors have a cause, usually unconscious. Example, slip of the tongue is not probably a mistake but something the individual was harboring in his or her mind. Levels of awareness. Consciousness is a state of understanding and realization of our surroundings or environment. Our consciousness is divided into 3 levels of awareness, starting from surface level to deeper level. The deeper you go, the vaster the information there is, but the less accessible it is to us immediately. The 3 levels are: conscious is the level where we are aware of what is happening in the immediate environment. What is the emotion a person is feeling, what the person is thinking, etc. It constitutes also the perception and our interpretation of a situation. It is a state of knowing what is happening in the present. Preconscious or subconscious contains information or memory which is not immediately available but can be accessed with some try. It constitutes all the answers to the question which you know the answer to, but not thinking of right now. For instance, if I asked a question, who was your class teacher in 8th standard, and if the answer comes to you now, currently it is in your conscious, but a while ago it was in your preconscious or subconscious. Unconscious. Our unconscious theoretically holds all the memories of our lifetime, even the most simplest, even the things that we sensed but never perceived. Hence, it has no boundaries. This holds more important, inevitable role in determining our behavior. Even though we do not realize that it exists, it may be manifested even in other forms, like dreams, slips, etc. indirectly. Structure of personality. In his theory of personality structure, Sigmund Freud has given 3 interplaying dynamic structures of personality. Id. It is a part of personality that is primitive, instinctual in nature. It is based on pleasure principle, seeking gratification without regards for social norms. Id is childlike. It wants what it wants. Ego. The mediator aspect of personality. This balances the desire of id and the critical superego. Involved in decision making, it works on reality principles. Superego places values at the topmost level before anything. It develops as a person grows up, learned from society and parents. It works on moral principles, forbidding us from committing mistakes. Defense mechanism. Defense mechanisms are psychological strategies that are unconsciously used to protect a person from anxiety arising from unacceptable thoughts or feelings. It is there to protect ourselves from feelings of anxiety or guilt, which arises because we feel threatened or because our id, ego, and superego becomes too demanding. Some of the defense mechanisms are repression, hiding the memory from conscious thoughts by pushing it further into unconscious. In its simplest form can be termed as forgetting but happens unconsciously. Example, repressing a traumatic memory. Regression, going back to early stages of life where there was comfort rather than facing the problem. This happens as the person was made to feel secure. Problem was taken care by adults at the particular age. Denial, pushing away painful, unpleasant thoughts by denying the event itself. Failing to accept the situation, blocking the reality and facts. For example, a person who has lost a loved one may say that the person is not dead but simply gone away for work and will be back. Projection, misattribution of one's own feelings or thoughts as that of another's. In this, a person sees in others what they are themselves. For example, you may dislike your classmate and instead of acknowledging that, you may tell your classmate dislikes you. Displacement, expressing the thoughts and emotions on not the intended person but on other people or inanimate objects. Directing the anger on threatening recipient rather than the source that caused the unpleasantness in the first place. A person may yell at his or her subordinate as the person had a fight at home. This is an example for displacement. Slamming door, ripping something, hitting the wall are also some examples. Apart from the above mentioned ones, there are other defense mechanisms like sublimation, reaction formation, rationalization, compartmentalization, intellectualization, etc. It is important to note that the defense mechanisms are unconsciously motivated. They have real purpose and are helpful to protect ourselves from breakdown. But excess use of defense mechanism can also lead to problems. Psychosexual stages of development. Freud has provided 5 psychosexual stages of development. Developmental period that children pass through during which they encounter conflicts between the demands of society and their own urges. The stages are oral stage, anal stage, phallic stage, latent stage, and genital stage. Research or study methods. The different methods used in study of behavior in psychodynamic perspective are case study, free association, dream analysis, projective test, hypnosis, etc. These study methods also have limitations such as ignores meditational processes, example thinking, too much emphasis on psychological factors without considering the biological or genetic factors that influence and contribute to mental health problems. Too deterministic with little free will, unfalsifiable or difficult to prove wrong. These case studies are subjective and the results cannot be generalized. Simplifying the human mind into id, ego and superego and 5 psychosexual stages make the approach reductionist. Conclusion. Freud's ideas are still influential today, but not in the exact form. His followers have altered his theory to fit their viewpoints and eliminate some drawbacks like the one discussed above. Though his ideas are still influential in the form of major perspective of psychology. The theory and the therapy methods based on his method is the base for much of modern psychotherapy. Thank you for watching the video. Until next time.